Welcome back. Funny story, I'm trying to do lesson 122. I was a little late today, so I recorded this afternoon. Oops, sorry. And it was so windy outside, I couldn't find an empty room because I had kids all around the house. And, oh my gosh, my camera was heating up and issues, hair flying everywhere. The sound was bad. So I said, you know what? I got to re-record. Now it's almost, 6 o'clock at night. I'm trying to adjust this. So I don't care. Morning, noon, night, whenever. I got to get this lesson out. It's just a really important time right now. Because we are in the Scorpio full moon. I'm doing A Course in Miracles. I'm not doing astrology or any sort of oracle reading or anything. But one of probably the most powerful component of this moon is the transformative nature of it, because it is in the sign of Scorpio. And to me, it's all about forgiveness. Breaking free. Transformations are about breaking free, essentially. And even yesterday's lesson, forgiveness is the key to happiness. And today's lesson, 122, forgiveness offers everything I want. And again, it's unburdening yourself from the wound that you carry. It has nothing to do with the event, the victimizer, none of it. It is about releasing the wound, because when that happens and you do release a huge feeling of weight lifting from you, it is an energetic weight where it is not even a matter of a physical lightness that comes over you, where you just feel lighter physically, but mentally there's almost clarity that comes into your brain, able to see the things that you want for yourself. And you probably didn't even realize that holding on to that wound has blocked you in so many ways. Just abundance and ideas and light and miracles and God's presence, Holy Spirit's presence. I mean, it's incredible the space you create in your body, in your mind, in your heart, and then you'll see it in your life. All right, here we go. Lesson 122, Course in Miracles workbook. Forgiveness offers everything I want. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness? A quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? Wow. It's so true. All of these things, man. All this forgiveness offers you and more. It sparkles on your eyes as you awake and gives you joy with which to meet the day. It soothes your forehead while you sleep and rests upon your eyelids so you can see no dreams of fear and evil, malice and attack. And when you wake again, it offers you another day of happiness and peace. All this forgiveness offers you and more. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of Christ from those who look with unforgiving eyes upon the world. It lets you recognize the Son of God and clears your memory of all the dead thoughts so that remembrance of your Father can arise across the threshold of your mind. This is the space I was talking about. I recently went through a massive release. It's been years since I've been divorced, and I have a good relationship with my ex, but just recently I went through a massive release of a wound that was directly connected with events related to my past with him. And there was like a kind of a low hum of resentment all this time, even though we were operating very amicably. But in the recent months, and usually this happens when you're about to have a big pop or shift, when things really start to kind of bubble up to the surface. So there was all of a sudden, and it really felt like it came out of the blue over the last 5-6 months, and just started getting worse and worse and worse, this growing resentment again of things that were like coming up, reminding me of the past. But they're not there to remind me of the past so I can stay in that bubble of fear and resentment. They were coming up to pop like a bubble coming up to the surface. And once it did, exactly 1 month ago, because I became so aware of what I was ready to let go of once and for all, that I let go. And all of a sudden, I have physically felt lighter. And I thought, what? Like a cord was finally ripped from me. Nothing's changed with him, meaning he didn't have to change for me to feel this. And funny enough, when I look at him now, I see him more as an equal, if you can believe that. And an equal, like an equal with a stranger, through this like compassion and loving eyes, seeing that I was operating from wounds, he's operating from wounds. When you see people operating from their wounds and you've been able to allow that bubble to come up and pop, you don't feel like a victim anymore. You don't feel like the victim. You don't feel wounded anymore. You feel strong because you can identify why these people do what they do without any sort of hurt or guilt, shame, or anger about it, and actually more compassion and an understanding that they're also just doing the best they can from the wound that they haven't released yet, right? Yet, because we have hope for humanity. That eventually, at some point, they're all going to release their wounds. But you don't feel attached to it anymore. You don't feel like you're a part of that wound anymore, their wound. And so you can't actually get hurt anymore. And let me tell you, I have just felt so much lighter energetically, emotionally, and physically. It was insane, but a beautiful, just a prison break. Temple doors opened. I should say prison doors, so I can walk out and walk through the temple doors. Here we go. Okay. Forgiveness lets the veil be lifted up that hides the face of Christ. I already read that. What gifts but these are worthy? What would you want forgiveness cannot give? What gifts but these are worthy to be sought? What fancied value, trivial effect, or transient promise never to be kept can hold more hope than what forgiveness brings? Why would you seek an answer other than the answer that will answer everything? Amen. Here is the perfect answer given to imperfect questions, meaningless requests, half-hearted willingness to hear, and less than halfway diligence and partial trust. Here is the answer. Seek for it no more. You will not find another one instead. God's plan for your salvation cannot change, nor can it fail. Be thankful it remains exactly as He planned it. Changelessly, it stands before you like an open door, with warmth and welcome calling from beyond the doorway, bidding you to enter in, just like that temple, the temple doors, and make yourself at home where you belong. And it does. When you release, there is an odd sense of familiarity, a comfortable, warm, soothing arena that takes place. That it's like, it's familiar when you do release the wound, like, oh, that's what I'm supposed to feel like. What I was feeling before, that's not who I am. That's not home. That's not the truth. As soon as it shifted for me, it doesn't even feel like a shift. It was more like a release. I was released from the chains. And then once it happened, it just went, it was like when my dog does this before she's about to go to sleep. And then it was like, yes, this feels right. This feels like home. This feels natural. It's crazy. It's happened to me a couple of times when I've done major shifts, but it's been in spurts over like chunks of years. And yeah, it feels really good if you can get through the birthing canal, because it can get really ugly and messy as things are coming up, ready to come up to the surface to pop. But once it pops, it's just like you come out of the cocoon, the birthing canal, and it's just butterfly. It's beautiful. God's plan for your salvation cannot change, nor can it fail. I'm sorry, I always repeat myself. Here is the answer. Would you stand outside while all of heaven waits for you within? Forgive and be forgiven. As you give, you will receive. There's no plan but this for the salvation of the Son of God. Let us today rejoice that this is so, for here we have an answer, clear and plain, beyond deceit in its simplicity. All the complexities the world has spun are fragile cobwebs, disappear before the power and the majesty of this extremely simple statement of the truth. Here is the answer. Do not turn away in aimless wandering again. Accept salvation now. It is the gift of God and not the world. The world can give no gifts of any value to a mind that has received what God has given as its own. God wills salvation be received today, and that the intricacies of your dreams no longer hide their nothingness from you. Open your eyes today and look upon a happy world of safety and of peace. You know, that's exactly what it felt like once I was released. There was a softness that came over me and around me. And again, it felt so familiar, like it's just been waiting there right next to me for a long time. But I didn't even realize I was in the wound, in the womb of the wound. It's like, I mean, I've been hurt and I feel, I know when I've been hurt, but then you feel a little better. But you know, feeling a little better doesn't necessarily mean you're not operating from the wound still, without a full manifested healing. Just a complete and utter release of the burden, where you can actually look at the event, the person, the circumstance, the addiction, the assaulter, the whoever, whatever, wherever, and just look at it and say, man, I'm not here without that. I wouldn't be here without that. There's no way. How would I have been here? How would I have gotten here without that? There's no way. There's no way. I put that there to like challenge myself. But it's much easier to see it once you get through it. But like I said, I didn't even realize that wound was really there. And I thought, hey, I'm kind of managing okay. You know, we co-parent fine. We're good. You know, occasionally I get, you know, annoyed, but even that, like, it was like a constant annoyance. Like I was annoyed. Not mad, not angry. Like I said, we got along, but I didn't realize though had a low hum annoyance going on for a long time. And then that annoyance in recent months really spiked to just downright resentful again. It was like a cycle. It was a cycle of resentment. And it wasn't, now that looking back, because it's so much clarity looking back, the cycle would be, you know, that spike of resentment, like every 6 or 7 months. That's a long time after being divorced for 11 years. So you don't even realize you're in that loop. You're just thinking, well, you get so used to feeling that operating system just in the background, a low hum. It's crazy. And then when you really release them, you're like, damn, shit, I've been sitting in that for a long time. Ugh. No, people, please. Let's get through the canal. It's portals open. We got to go through it. Time is now. Enough is enough. You want to really see your abundance and miracles flying off the shelves to you, for you, waiting at the doorstep, just banging on your door. This is the work that's got to be done. It's got to be done. And once it's done, it doesn't even feel like a sacrifice, like you sacrifice your pride or, okay, I guess I'll say that I was wrong and that. No, it doesn't even feel that way. It feels like nobody's wrong and everybody's right. You even feel more right without the ego of being right. Like, this is right. This is how it has to be. Clean, peaceful, comfortable. Not this like subtle, kind of in the background, stubborn frustration. Okay. Forgiveness is the means by which it comes to take the place of hell. In quietness, it rises up to greet your open eyes and fill your heart with deep tranquility as ancient truths, forever newly born, arise in your awareness. What you will remember then can never be described. Yet your forgiveness offers it to you. Remembering the gifts forgiveness gives, we undertake our practicing today with hope and faith that this will be the day salvation will be ours. Earnestly and gladly will we seek for it today, aware we hold the key within our hands, accepting heaven's answer to the hell we made, but where we would remain no more hell. We are creating heaven on earth because we can create our own living hell. There is no hell past this life. Sorry to break it to you. This dream can be utter effing hell that we create of our own doing, for the lack of the forgiveness, for keeping our wounds open, picking at the scab. We got to let that scab do what it does best, dry up and fall away. Really. Morning and evening do we gladly give a quarter of an hour to the search in which the end of hell is guaranteed. Begin in hopefulness, for we have reached the turning point at which the road becomes far easier. Thank you, Jesus. And now the way is short, that yet we travel. We are close indeed to the appointed ending of the dream. Sink into happiness as you begin these practice periods, for they hold out the sure rewards of questions answered and what your acceptance of the answer brings. Today it will be given you to feel the peace forgiveness offers and the joy the lifting of the veil holds out to you. Before the light you will receive today, the world will fade until it disappears, and you will see another world arise you have no words to picture. Now we walk directly into light, and we receive the gifts that have been held in store for us since time began, kept waiting for today. Ready, man. The light is waiting for you. The gift that keeps on giving, the gift is wanting to be given to you, and then the gift by you. Giving and receiving are one in truth, right? It all starts with forgiveness. Again, forgiveness is not the definition we think of as forgiveness. You're not saying it's okay that you stole from me. It's not okay that you hurt me, that you were unkind or lied or whatever it is. That is not okay. What forgiveness is saying, I know that you're operating from a wound, and I can't control what wounds you have. And I'm not going to be a part of the wound anymore. So I'm going to unburden myself from being connected to your wound, because that's all it is. Not me. It's your wound. And I'm going to act, and again, there will be a compassion that comes over you, because you don't want anybody operating from their wounds, because it hurts. You know how it hurts. I know how it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. You don't want people to feel that way. We felt that way. It sucks. It sucks. Forgiveness offers everything you want. Today, all things you want are given you. Let not your gifts recede throughout the day as you return again to meet a world of shifting change and bleak appearances. Retain your gifts in clear awareness as you see the changeless in the heart of change, the light of truth behind appearances. Be tempted not to let your gifts slip by and drift into forgetfulness, but hold them firmly in your mind by your attempts to think of them at least a minute as each quarter of an hour passes by. Remind yourself how precious are these gifts. With this reminder, which has power to hold your gifts in your awareness through the day. Forgiveness offers everything I want. Today I have accepted this as true. Today I have received the gifts of God. Today I have accepted this as true. Today I have received the gifts of God. Lesson 122, forgiveness offers everything I want. I'm glad I redid this video. I'm kind of liking this evening setup, as my dog does before she goes for a deep, peaceful rest. A big, beautiful breath in. Forgiveness offers everything we want. Beautiful souls, thank you for joining me. Thank you for making it through this video. Till next time, take care, be well.